This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, hi there, ho there. It's Jeff Cutter and welcome you to another Sports Catastrophe birthday boy. This is the only video for September the 16th. So anyway, the birthday boy today is a Milwaukee Brewers shortstop. One of the greatest Milwaukee Brewers of all time. Probably up there with Paul Molitor, Ben Sheets, and even Gorman Thomas. But anyway, he spent his entire 20-year career in baseball with the Brewers from 1974 to 1993. He played shortstop and center field, so he won 2 AL MVPs, one as a shortstop and one as an outfielder, which is like crazy. He was elected to the Hall of Fame in 1999 in his first year of eligibility. He's a baseball coach. He is Rockin' Robin Yount, who's now 67 years old. He was born in Illinois. He was the 3rd pick in the 1973 baseball draft. Now, the baseball draft nowadays is a lot different than it is, well, back in the day. Well, anyway, Texas had the first pick and took David Clyde from a Houston high school. Philly took John Stearns as a catcher from University of Colorado. Robin Yount went 3rd overall, and then the next pick was San Diego's with Dave Winfield. Everything else was just pathetic till Masilli came in. So anyway, Robin Yount made his debut at age 18 in the 1974 season. He could not get a hit in his first 4 games, but somehow in some way he hit a game-winning home run in his 6th game. Anyway, Yount is the last 18-year-old to hit a home run in the major leagues. By contrast, Andrew Jones, Mike Trout, Bryce Harper, and Juan Soto did so as teenagers, but they were 19, not 18. Just before his 20th birthday, Yount, in 1975, had the most games played in the major leagues before turning the age of 20, breaking Mel Ott's record. Yount was not too happy in 1978. He threatened to retire from Major League Baseball and go to golf, rather than be underpaid or moved to the outfield by the Brewers. Paul Molitor was called up because of Yount being absent. Milwaukee caved. They gave Yount the chance to go back to shortstop. Molitor was moved from shortstop to second base. Anyway, he actually was a proponent of weight training, and his power hitting improved to the point that people thought, oh, hey, this weight training thing could happen. So anyway, Yount was a 3-time All-Star in the 1980s. Yount led the American League with 210 hits in 1982. Yount would hit 2 major home runs on the final day of the 1982 season against the Baltimore Orioles in Baltimore. The winner got to be the AL East champion. Yount would have a 4-hit game, and the Brewers would win the AL East, beat the Angels, coming back from 2-0 down in the ALCS, and lose in Game 7 of the World Series to the St. Louis Cardinals. He just missed out on the batting title by 1 percentage point over Willie Wilson. So anyway, he looked pretty good. His slugging percentage was huge. In fact, he won the MVP award. Only one person did not vote for Robin Yount to be number 1. So it was not unanimous. According to the sources, the only person to get for a first place vote was Reggie Jackson, and he finished 6th in voting. Eddie Murray would finish 2nd in MVP voting, but Reggie Jackson got the other first place vote. That's kind of weird. Don't matter to me. Anyway, so Yount would move to the outfield because of a shoulder issue. So he went from shortstop to outfield. He became the regular center fielder, playing over 1,200 games in the outfield in his career, although I still say Yount's a great shortstop. However, Yount is known for his game-ending diving catch to give Milwaukee their first ever no-hitter in 1987 and gave it to Juan Nieves. Yount was in a tight race for the AL MVP in 1989. How narrow was it? Very narrow. But anyway, Yount would become the 3rd player in history to win MVPs at 2 different positions. Yount at shortstop and center field. Hank Greenberg won MVPs at 2 positions, first base and I think left field, and Stan Musial, first base and one of the outfield positions. A-Rod would join this group. By the way, Yount became the first AL player since Roger Maris to win multiple awards. Well, Maris and Mickey Mantle. Not many people won multiple MVP awards in the 70s and 80s. Yount would end the 80s with the most hits of any player, American or National League. Yount was a free agent after the 1989 season, and California wanted to give him a contract, and it looked good. He would be an angel. But Yount changed his mind and signed a 3-year deal with the Brewers in 1990. Yount, September 9th, 1992, would get his 3,000th career hit, becoming the third youngest at that time to reach the mark and the 17th player. He would announce his retire after the 93 season. Milwaukee instantly retires number 19. Why not? I mean, you have Robin Yount, George Brett, and Nolan Ryan at the same time retiring. It's amazing. His first year of eligibility, he got to the Hall of Fame, and he took 5th on the MLB All-Century team. But remember, this is 1989. Yount still holds Brewers records for games, at-bats, runs, hits, doubles, triples, RBIs, total bases, walks, and strikeouts. I don't know why you want to strikeout. In fact, Robin Yount became the last active major leaguer to be part of a team with Hank Aaron. Aaron was 75 and 76. Was on the Brewers. He did pretty good. 1,400 plus RBIs, 3,142 hits. And he's 9th all-time in a career at bats in MLB history. And 20th on the hit list. What was strange is that Robin Yount won the 89 MVP and still didn't make the All-Star team. Yount would be the first base coach and bench coach for Arizona for a few years. After Bob Brenly was dismissed, he resigned too. Robin Yount would become Milwaukee's bench coach in 2005, but in 2006 he said he would not do it. But by 2008, when Dale Swing became manager, Yount was the bench coach. Yount is a special instructor in spring training for the Brewers. You know, a lot of people said he is the greatest player in Brewers history, and I wouldn't doubt that and all that. Anyway, Robin Yount did his job. All that. Yount and his wife had a son, Dustin, who played baseball in the minor leagues for several years. Anyway, the funny thing is that Robin's brother Larry was a pitcher and was called up in the major leagues for Houston. He took up his warm-up tosses for Houston, but then he experienced elbow pain and never played in the major leagues ever again. So he actually came into the game, but he never threw an official pitch. That's kind of weird. Wonder how they scored that. But anyway, yeah, Larry Yount. But Robin sucked it for Milwaukee, and Bob Uecker, alongside Robin Yount, are legends. And you can't teach that. Anyway, I'm Jeff. I'm going to do.